What's up? What's up? How's my party people? Welcome back to Journal Party Live. Gonna give it a few minutes to let everybody trickle in, and we'll get started in about 5 minutes. We've got a pretty solid guided journaling session prepared for you today. Gonna be continuing our series on overcoming imposter syndrome, and this time we've got 10 journal prompts to help us harness inner confidence. So let me just turn that on, turn the screen share on. We'll get everything ready. So we've got minimal downtime. I'll pop in here too so we can hang out for a minute. All right, and we'll let some people pop in. We're trying the Future Pop AI station here today. I tried to put on some lo-fi and it wasn't lo-fi, so I don't know. We have to educate the folks over at Restream about music genre, but that's another endeavor. All right, welcome. Once again, if you're just joining us, we're going to give it a few more minutes to let some more people trickle in so everybody gets a fair shake at all 10 of the prompts that we have prepared. I guess I can talk about stuff, right? Is anybody here on TikTok? So I have resisted doing TikTok for forever. I was afraid of the potential intellectual property stuff and spyware and all that, and I think I was just being a little bit of a grumpy old man. I know I look really young, but I've been getting grumpier and older. And I think I was just resisting TikTok, but the reality is there's a lot of people journaling on there that aren't on Facebook and Instagram. So we want to make this party big, and we want to fill it with our kind of people. So I've begun creating content on TikTok, so I hope you'll follow me on there. It's the same as our Instagram. It's Journal Party OMG. So see me in there. I haven't made like a silly dance video yet, so it's mostly educational so far, but I'm having fun with it, surprisingly. I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. I think if TikTok came out when I was in my 20s, I would have been all over it. And I will be. We just we're a little late to that party at least. But I would like to say we're starting the real journal party. Just a couple more minutes. We'll give it till about 5 after, and then we will start our power prompt playlist. Got 3 minutes allocated to each prompt. That was enough last time, so I think we'll be good this time. And of course, you can always get the app if you want to go at your own pace and use the player controls and whatnot. So scan that QR code or visit try.journalparty.com and snag yourself the app. So speaking of the app, I was thinking of new programs to create for it, and we've got a lot of demand for mental health journal. So I'm going to be consulting with some therapists, and I think we're going to do something that's like a guided anxiety release. So if you have any ideas for that or any expertise around that, please get in touch because we would love to collaborate. All right, we got about 1 more minute left, and then we will get this party started. This is like some late 80s, 90s pop. They're calling it future pop, but I guess that's, the future always comes back around, right? Okay, it's 5 after the hour, so that means it is time to get this party started. So, without further ado, I'm going to hit the start now button. So open up that journal, get your pen ready, get your mind ready, because we're going to start counting down in 5, 4. The Wayne's World thing. All right, defining imposter syndrome. How would you define the feeling of imposter syndrome in your own words? When have you felt this most intensely in your life? Just start writing. Next prompt, recognizing achievements. List down 3 achievements in your life you're genuinely proud of. For each one, note down the skills and qualities you employed to reach that achievement. All right, let's move on to the next one, feedback reflection. Think about a positive piece of feedback you received in the past. Write it down and reflect on why someone felt that way about your work or abilities. All right, next prompt is root cause analysis. Can you trace back to when you first felt like an imposter? Was there a specific event or series of events? Understanding its origin can help you in addressing it. Give it a shot. All right. Next prompt. For every negative imposter thought you have about yourself, write down two evidence based truths that counteract that thought. All right. The next one is role models and mentors. Think of someone you admire who exudes confidence. What qualities do they have, and how can you emulate some of these qualities in your own life? Next prompt is vision of confidence. Visualize a scenario where you act with complete confidence and without any doubt in your abilities. What are you doing? How are you feeling? Write this down in vivid detail. Alrighty, next prompt is permission to fail. Recall a time you failed or made a mistake. Instead of focusing on the negative, what did this experience teach you about resilience and growth? Alrighty, this next one is affirmations of confidence. Craft 3 personal affirmations that promote self confidence and resilience. Ensure these are positive, present tense statements. All right, we're getting through it. This next one is advice for the future. Imagine you are mentoring someone who feels like an imposter. Based on your experiences and learnings, what advice would you give them? All right, we did it. We did it. Got another one in the books, as they say. So I hope you enjoyed that. This one was harnessing inner confidence, and it's part of our newer series. I guess, yeah, it's the newest series that's inside of the Journal Party app. Overcoming Imposter Syndrome. I'm sorry, the Imposter Syndrome Solution. We have another program called Overcoming Imposter Syndrome in the regular premium stuff. But this one, we decided to go a little bit deeper because once we released that original program, had a lot of feedback saying that we could go even deeper, and people really wanted to explore this topic. And I it's probably because journaling is one of the best ways to deal with imposter syndrome, in my opinion. I think that one of the things that I can share from the insights that I got today is that a lot of, at least as in my experience, the imposter syndrome that I feel tends to come as a result of me not embracing my own truth, and that could look like a lot of different things. And sometimes sometimes it has to do with you being in the wrong place and knowing that, and in which case you can always make a correction. But if you are aligned with where you are and you're just feeling maybe not qualified, or maybe like you don't have enough experience, or whatever it is, that's just total head garbage. I'm personally of the belief that the universe wouldn't put anything in front of you that you couldn't handle. Some people express that a little more religiously, and normally I would, but I would say God wouldn't put stuff in front of you that you couldn't handle. But I don't want that to exclude anybody who hasn't found that kind of spirituality. So really, it's just you have to if you want to not look at it so spiritually, I guess you can make an equally viable argument around that, right? I mean, we are after billions of years of things happening exactly the way that they did for us to be journaling together online, and that's a crazy thing to think about. There's no way you could have avoided that, because what you if you could have done something different, I'd argue that you would have. And so I think you're exactly where you need to be. And so try to embrace that, especially when imposter syndrome comes up. And, I'm saying that, obviously easier said than done. I've encountered a lot of imposter syndrome, mostly professionally. Just, I think I was exploring that a little bit. I mean, I have my own reasons for how that's come about. A lot of it, has to do with, I've always looked young my whole life, and so people have tended to treat me younger, like the intern or something like that. And it took me rising through the ranks and making all these amazing things happen before I could even give myself like an ounce of credit. And not that it's all about credit, but it's crazy, and it's something that I still struggle with a little bit. Another bit of insight that I got was I guess kind of building off of that last one, which is that you're equipped to handle anything in the present moment. And people express that in a lot of different ways, whether it's like mindfulness, or be here now. And think about it. Think about an instance where you might walk into a challenge, right? You could either try to escape that and deny that truth, right? You could go back in time thinking, oh, I'm not experienced, or this happened, I messed up this way, or whatever. But you're just causing yourself pain and feeling these useless emotions of shame or guilt, or whatever it is, if you're going to the past. And then you could also try to avoid that present moment by putting yourself in the future. But if you're doing that not intentionally, if you're doing that to escape that present moment, odds are whatever you're imagining in the future is going to be fear-based. And so all of that is just way more painful and way harder than actually just being present and dealing with whatever comes up. So that said, I know everybody is going through their own walk, and I wish you all the best in strength in being able to handle that. Of course, if I can support you any further with the journaling stuff, then let me know. We've got a comment here from Kathy. The last question makes me aware that I am Well, let me show it up here. The last question makes me aware that I am way less judgmental with others than with myself. I need to lighten up and quit being so hard on myself. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that too. It's I'm not sure how wide that sentiment goes. But my guess is, if you're in a if you're on a platform like this, journaling and trying to have a little bit of introspection, odds are you're not alone in that thought. There's just no way. And you're right. Yeah, you absolutely need to lighten up. I think it's a good thing to be responsible, right? But uh, one of the things that I was journaling about is that as a result of some of the imposter syndrome that I feel, I'll go really, really hard. Like I will, burn myself out, right? And because I'm being so hard on myself, I'm actually putting myself into a position where I'm less capable of delivering the goods and of serving, especially on a platform like this, right? Like I showed up today and thank goodness, I had some reserve energy happen. I don't know if it was the espresso that I had before I got on here, but I was tired and I was a little worried. I was feeling some imposter syndrome. Like, man, like how can I lead something like this if I'm just exhausted and I have nothing in the tank? And so fortunately I squeezed a little bit out, right? But that's not a good position to be in, right? And so yeah, definitely I know I need to lighten up on myself a little bit, not go pedal to the metal all the time, just so that we can show up with our wits about ourselves, right? So it's there's a lot of different colors to this sort of thing, but I think that you'll find the more that you actually look at it and embrace the truth of who you are, you'll see that these things that you might be judging yourself off of, these external values and just things like needing recognition or approval from others. That's all just superficial head garbage, as I like to call it. And the reality is that like I said, billions of years had to happen exactly the way that they did, and it's a magical, beautiful thing that you're even here, and you matter, and you're valuable. And I'm so grateful that you've shown up to journal with us here as part of the Journal Party family. So with that, I think we're going to close it out. Let's see. Do I have any announcements? Not really. I mentioned at the top of the call that I think we're going to try to release a few more mental health oriented programs inside of the app. So if you happen to be a mental health professional, please reach out, because we would love to make sure that we're not leading people astray, and that's very important, in my opinion. Not just because of the imposter syndrome thing. Well. Largely because of that, but also, let's. I think one of the traps of the internet is, lots of experts and gurus showing up everywhere, and maybe not giving the best advice. And so let's qualify all the advice that we give, if we're giving advice. But I don't know if that journaling is advice. That's kind of why I like it. You get to point. We point the direction, but be your own guru. I think that's kind of the idea. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, thank you so much. All right, so I'm gonna close this thing out. Listen up for the Journal Party podcast that we're releasing on Monday. Should be a good one. And check me out on TikTok. I just started up TikTok. If it's not your thing, it wasn't my thing either, but I'm actually having a blast on it, and I could use some people watching my videos. I promise I won't do any stupid dance things. Well, maybe I will. I don't know. Anyway, everyone have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much for showing up, and party on.